some changes in the Meru County Revenue Board to ensure efficient service delivery to the Meru people. In this regard, I have appointed Francis Mungai as the General Manager for Meru County Revenue Board, replacing Mr. John Ntoiti, and Frinda Kawira as the Director, replacing Eric Kabuai. I have also ordered, 1, the board to release all items that had been confiscated by the former regime.
Okay, that is enough. So on that page, or on that press release, who is taking responsibility for the decision to make these changes in the semi-autonomous government organizations?
It's Governor Kawira Mwangaza.
Thank you. And when you look at the letters that you are referred to on pages 336 to 339,
yes.
Who does the letter say has made a decision? It is a fairly short letter. Just read.
It says the decision.
Just read the body of the letter.
Page 336, volume 2.
Volume 2, page 336.
This is to notify you that the government has decided.
Pause. That who?
The government has decided.
That the government has decided. And to your knowledge, who heads the government or the county government?
The governor.
Meru. In Meru particularly?
The governor, Mr. Speaker.
The name of the governor?
Kawira Mwangaza.
Thank you. I want you to look at (340). Page 340 of volume 2, of our volume 2.
Yes, I'm there.
Can you see the letter there?
I can see the letter.
Who is it addressed to?
It's addressed to one Tony Kirima.
And whose position is this letter referring to?
Can you repeat the question?
Whose position in the liquor board is this letter referring to?
Mr. Speaker, it is referring to the same position I was holding and the one that I'm holding.
Position that you are occupying?
Yes.
Thank you. And you will also confirm that from the ruling on page 416, or rather the order on page 416
and 15
of volume 2, volume 2, the Assembly's document.
416?
Yes. Are you there?
I'm there.
Who are the petitioners or the claimants?
The petitioners are Joseph Beria, Paul Mwaki Aremi, Dr. John Toiti, Kenneth Kimathi Mbaye.
And which one are you among those ones?
I'm Paul Mwaki Aremi.
Thank you. I will then take you to still that order that is on page 416, where on that order, does it talk about salaries? Does it talk about payment of your salary?
It doesn't talk about salaries, Mr. Speaker.
So the order that came out on, or that is dated 7th October 2022, does not talk about salaries?
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
And let's go to the contempt of court ruling and order that is now coming in a year later. Let us go straight to the order. And that is on
page 440.
Yes, page 440. This order is coming in respect, this contempt of court order is coming in respect of which previous order?
It's coming in respect to the order of 7th October of 2022.
That is at paragraph 4. Thank you. The order on page 440, you're still there,
Yes.
at paragraph 5. Can you read the first line?
That the respondent be cited for contempt of court and be committed to a civil jail for a term of 6 months until they purge the contempt and comply with the orders of this honorable court issued on the 7th of October, the year 2022.
Can you confirm that it refers to the respondents, plural?
Yes, I do.
And who are the respondents on that order, as you can see it?
County Secretary, County Government of Meru, Meru County Public Service Board, and the Governor, County Government of Meru.
So you confirm that there is a conviction against the governor, County Government of Meru, based on that order?
I do.
I will again take you to the ruling, page 437 of volume 2.
Yes, I'm there.
437 of volume 2.
Yes, please.
At the bottom, the sentence that is starting with however. Can you please read and then read on the next page?
However, before passing sentence against the respondents are invited to attend this court through the County Secretary, Mr. Rufus Miriti, or his successor in title, to show cause why the court should not punish them for disobeying the court orders issued on 7th of October 2022.
So it is your testimony that the respondents are invited through the county secretary, or rather the county secretary is invited on behalf of all the respondents?
Yes, I confirm that.
And on paragraph 37, subparagraph A, that is on page 438 still.
Yes.
Does it say, what does it say, paragraph A, just the first sentence?
That the respondents are hereby cited for contempt of this court. This court's orders issued on 7th October 2022 by failing to allow the applicants back to their offices.
Thank you. So you will confirm that this ruling, these orders issued by the court, through and through, refers to all the respondents in that application for contempt of court?
Yes, I confirm.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. That is my exam.
Now, honorable senators, you have an opportunity to seek for clarification either from the witness or the counsel for the witness. That is the counsel for the county assembly. Or you may ask questions to the witness. Senator Sigay.
Thank you, Mr.
Your
Speaker.
questions should be direct to the point. Don't give
yes, it
speeches.
is. I want to seek clarification from Mr. Witness or his counsel with regards to the establishment of the entity called Meru Alcoholic Control Board with regards to two things. One, paragraph 1 of your affidavit make reference to a semi-autonomous entity, and the allegation make reference to non-reference to the board. I'd like to know whether the board is a statutory organ or it is what you have referred to as a semi-autonomous entity.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The board is established through a County Assembly Act of 2014. So in that case, we can say it is backed by law.
Senator Manzo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to ask the witness in relation to page, just the court order just refers to, in page number, the court order relating to, by Justice Jage. I want to ask, there are quite a number of parties. There are 4 parties and 3 parties ending with the county governor. Was this court order specifically ordered against the governor of Meru, or it was ordered for all the parties appearing there, including the county secretary?
It was ordered for all of them.
Senator Mungatana.
Mr. Speaker, Rule 23 of the third schedule of our standing orders allows me to ask questions to the counsel. So this is not to the witness, Mr. Speaker. It's just a clarification. Mr. Speaker, Counsel Thiankolu gave an allegory where he talked about the monarch of Russia, and he said that Nicholas I, before he passed the execution, he asked the person who was bringing the order whether the convicted person said anything. Mr. Speaker, he seemed to suggest, and I want a clarification from him, because that fellow said that in Russia, it seems that they can't do even the ropes properly, suggesting that they can't do anything properly. And then he juxtaposed that allegory to the trial that was conducted by the Senate here. Mr. Speaker, I was listening carefully. I want him to clarify, did he mean that the Senate was behaving like Russia? It couldn't do a proper job. It couldn't do a rope. Mr. Speaker, can he clarify? Because we didn't take it very kindly.
Counsel.
Mr. Speaker, what I meant in that allegory was that Kondraty Rylev, having miraculously escaped execution, would have saved his life by stopping the very act that had condemned him to death in the first place, which was subversive utterances against the monarch. And what I meant is that the Honorable Kawira Mwangaza, having survived the first impeachment, which was based on specified allegations, would have been expected to refrain from the acts and omissions that triggered that impeachment motion, which she hadn't. Number 2, it would have been expected Kawira Mwangaza, as part of the vilification, would not have gone berating this house itself, and when we get there, we'll be playing a video for you. When Kawira asked, after they took me to the Senate, what happened to me? Nothing happened. Kaende, kaende. And therefore, that's why we said, this time, we urge you to repeat the execution of Kawira, and we see whether the rope will break again.
Well, I hope that explanation is adequate to the issue raised by Mungatana. Senator Sifuna.
Mr. Speaker, I want to direct my question at counsel for the Assembly, who unfortunately is my former classmate, but I want to understand the propriety of basing an impeachment proceeding on a matter that you have confirmed yourselves is still live in court. We here in the Senate are prevented from discussing matters that are live before the courts before a decision is made. What is the propriety of you basing a claim of, breach of the law or misconduct on a matter that is still live before a court of law that was coming for a decision today?
Counsel.
The answer is as follows, Mr. Speaker. The question of contempt of court is not pending in court. We have a conviction before you. We have an order before you. We have a sentencing before you. That order, as we speak, has not been set aside by a higher court. As a matter of fact, the room for challenging that order in a higher court expired a long time ago because you have only 14 days to appeal. That's the first answer, Mr. Speaker. The second answer, which is very specific to this process before you, is that the governor went to court. When this motion before you was labeled, she went before the High Court in Meru in petition number 24. No, I'm sorry, Mr. Speaker, I don't seem to recall the number. It's not 24, but she went to court in Meru before the Honorable Justice Cherere to stop this process on that very ground that it was sub judice. The court refused. She returned to the court again. The court refused. She went to the Court of Appeal at Nyeri, trying to stop the process before you, claiming that impeachment cannot be based on matters that are before court. And again, the Court of Appeal refused. Lastly, Mr. Chairman, when we were in the Court of Appeal, one of the questions we asked is how can a convictee whose conviction has not been set aside, who has been disobeying a court order for a year, be the one now telling you every word about court orders?
Senator Chute.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My question will go to the witness. Mr. Witness, will I be wrong if I tell you you belong to Committee Maximum because you've admitted before this honorable House that you've been receiving money for months and months illegally, and you've accepted before this House that you've been receiving it illegally? Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
You would not be telling the truth, Mr. Speaker, because we have made numerous efforts to be allowed back to office and serve, even through the court, but you are not allowed. The person culpable is the one paying us for service not rendered.
Senator Osotsi.
This is to the witness, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, looking at the application for this case and even the ruling, the governor is listed as respondent number 3. That is after the county secretary and the Meru County Public Service Board. Is this an admission that the governor is not directly involved in matters of HR, recruitment, and appointment?
It's not an admission.
Senator Roba.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I just want to ask the same question, but phrased differently. Mr. Paul Mwaniki Arimi is appearing as a key witness on behalf of the County Assembly. And he is here to give witness on what he found extremely wrong of receiving salary for work not done. And he has admitted that as being wrong. Now, if your convictions are true, shouldn't it have bothered you enough for you to have considered refunding or refusing the acceptance? And accepting the money for this long and appearing as a witness to admit that before this, why didn't you, consider not accepting if you considered it was wrong? Thank you.
Thank you. It is wrong legally to receive pay for service not rendered or work not done. What we did as victims of this is we have sought legal redress for a full year from last year up to now, seeking to be allowed to get back and work. Yet still, we have not been terminated from work. What you have been given is a mandatory indefinite leave without any reason. So there would be no issue of refunding monies without any clear structures of how this one should be done. So we have been in court, struggling to be allowed to work. The person culpable is this one sending us on a compulsory indefinite leave with even a rider that you will be paid all the services where you are home. Indeed, it is depressing.
Just to be clear, witness, this is the question that I help you out. You've indicated that you have received, you've been receiving these salaries.
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
This is a question from the Senator.
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
And you've indicated that you ought not have received this money because it is taxpayers' money.
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
So the question that the Senator posed then is, did you make an effort
we made
either
efforts
to refuse
through the court
or to refund?
We did not make efforts to refund, but we made efforts to get back to work.
Very well. Senator Okoiti.
My question goes to Mr. Speaker, sir. My question goes to Counsel for the County Assembly. On trial is the governor of Meru, and one of the grounds is of court. In the evidence that you have laid before this court, are you able to point out to me specifically where the governor is condemned? Specifically where the governor is condemned?
Counsel
convicted of that contempt.
Mr. Speaker, if you open page 440 of our volume 2, the court order, as you note and has been pointed out previously, this was a case filed against the governor together with 2 other officials. And whenever this order or even the ruling before it talks about the respondents, every reference to the respondents in this order is a reference to the 3 persons who include the governor. And therefore, where a court, as you find in page 441, it says the respondents who we agree include the